folks, we made it. We made it from Tuesday to Wednesday, and for me, that's a huge accomplishment. I'm feeling really good about that. Rory, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm thoroughly looking forward to today's show. I was catching up on a little bit of what you were doing yesterday, and well, looking good.
It's not bad. It's getting better. It's not bad. S&B says hello, everyone. Greeting S&B. We're
Hello,
glad
S&B.
glad to have you here. Rory, you were having trouble, I think, walking
Yeah.
last time we talked to you. Is that right?
Walking's one of these things you take for granted until you can't, and
Yeah.
it's amazing how often you use it as a skill.
Yeah, these legs, I don't
Um,
really think about them too much at all.
yeah. No, I've got a bit of water on the knee, which is just causing it to seize a bit, swell a bit, and it's just not pleasant.
Look,
But
Rory.
it is getting better.
Okay, so Roy, I'm not a doctor, but have you tried like a towel, like something absorbent, to just dab that a little bit? Plus,
Yeah,
why would that make it hard to walk? I don't know. I like you haven't gone swimming before.
well, see, this is a special kind of water that's on the knee but under the skin.
Oh, okay.
So it makes it kind of difficult to get to with a towel. I mean, I could carve a hole in my leg, but I'm thinking that without medical advice, that may not be so clever.
I do it all the time. I'm like carving a hole in my leg right now as we talk. It's just like that's
S&B
what I'm
suggests
doing.
I fit a tap to my knee. That's a good idea.
There you
Now I
go.
need a qualified plumber and doctor combination.
That's cool. Excellent. Okay, let's figure
But
out.
I can still be here and we can still do this. So,
Right. Okay, cool.
yeah.
So I don't remember, to be honest, what the heck we did yesterday. I was a little bit sleep deprived. I managed to not screw it up royally, I think.
hmm
But let's kind of see what we've got here. I want to switch over to, let's try that view right here. I've got localhost. You can give me a shout out if you see anything that you haven't seen before. Um, there we go. There's the sound effect right there as I bring these down. So we have it so that we can click these and highlight. I think you were here for that. Is that right, Rory?
I missed that. That was what you were attempting to do. I think last Thursday I was unable to make. That was when my knee was really sort of kicking off, having a big problem. So yeah, I think you covered that then. I saw a pickup of that, and you were trying to work out contrasting issues and stuff at the start of yesterday.
Yeah.
There was some focusing stuff going on, but that looks a lot better actually than what I saw
Yeah. Okay.
before. That's looking pretty nice.
Cool. So not bad. So I have like a bug in here. Hold on a second. Let me switch over to here, and I've added this since yesterday. So this is there. I can click on that. So the highlighting is basically following what's happening in the app. I have a bug that's like if I click here, and I've just said I want to highlight this page, but this page isn't active. So it can't find the piece to activate, so it finds the zero index element, which is the name, and that's why the name is going highlighted here. So
Right.
I need something that says, hey, look, if I don't click the scroll, but I click a control that's above it, I need to switch to the page and then highlight it. So
hmm
that's a bug that I've got to fix, and we'll work on that. One of the things that, let me switch over to the regular view where we load the overlay. I want to make sure that the overlay is coming in here and we're actually seeing it on the stream. So let me move this out of the way, and let's see what happens if I change these, because I think I saw, there we go. Okay, good, it's working. I just want to make sure that's happening, because ultimately this is going to be used for the stream, the live stream of the Dungeons and Dragons show. So
hmm
right now the data is not in sync between the WPF app and the highlighting. I think we'll get to that tomorrow or next Tuesday.
Okay.
That's what we're going to do. Today, what I want to do is I want to, hold on, I got a couple alarms I want to turn off here. All right, what I want to do today is I want to I want to do two things. One is I want to make it so that when I say I want to highlight something, let's open this new page here. So if you'll notice here you'll see this on the live stream. Rory, you'll be
Yep.
slightly behind on this. In fact, I can maybe put this one up too, so you can see it both instantly and behind. But if I want to now highlight, say for example, I want to highlight dexterity here. When I click this, you're going to see the highlighting instantly come in like that. It just instantly comes in like that. We'd highlighted the wrong one because I had the wrong page open. So sorry
hmm
about that. We'll get the right page. I'll show it to you one more time. Click on dexterity. Boom. Instantly,
Yeah.
it fades out. What I want to do, instantly it just changes. And I want to fade that in.
Okay.
Now there are two components. There are two components to the. There are two components to the highlighting here. One of the components, in fact, let's go look at the layers of this in an editor here. Here we go. Let's zoom out a little bit. One of the components is just this screen right here that goes over the top. That's one of the components. It's just a screen. In fact, if we say, let's look only at that, there it is right there.
Sort of a shade, if you like, is casting a dark shadow over things.
Yeah, that's one of the components. The other component is a piece that floats above that. So we look under emphasis skills and we grab strength, for example. We say, let's highlight that. I guess I got to click there and click there so we can see that. So there's strength. And then let's go back to the lower piece. So basically it's a layer of two different pieces. It's a piece that says, I don't want to look at anything else behind, and I want to make the piece that we are looking at be more emphasized.
So you've got a more emphasized version of each and every graphical piece.
It's actually the same piece that was below it is what it is. So, so this is just a copy of what was directly below it on the main page right there. So when we put the main page...
Right, I keep forgetting that the base is a composite in the first place. So
yeah. So there's the base normal. I add that emphasis layer, and I'm essentially doing the same thing in JavaScript, right? I am in TypeScript, I'm painting the background, and I'm cropping it based on the position of the scrolls as they unroll, right? This whole thing is actually kind of crazy when you look at the kind of what's going on to make this magic look like it's actually, really happening. But it looks good. The thing that doesn't look good is this sudden turn on of the emphasis. And what I want to do instead is I want to essentially fade it in and fade it out. Whoops, that's
okay.
So that's what I want to do. Now, I haven't figured out exactly how to do this, but I realized it's a little bit tricky because
your start fade has got to happen after the unfurl of the scroll. That's the first thing. Otherwise, you'll be emphasizing the scroll's unwinding slightly.
Well, the start, if you look here, right, the start fade has got to happen after the start time, right? It's some sort of fade in time where we go from 0 to opacity. This is the background right here. This is that background screen, right? Like that. That's the background screen. Okay? These are the individual pieces, whatever those are going to look like right here, right? Those are going to be there. So this one might be strength, one might be dexterity, whatever those pieces are. These pieces need to come in, but the thing is this, is if I'm highlighting one and now I say I want to highlight another, I don't want this to fade out. I want the background screen to know that it's got to stay up because I'm still highlighting. It's only got to fade out. Its fade out time is different from the fade out time of this piece that we bring in. This piece has got to manage its own fade in and fade out time, even though its fade in time are exactly the same here, but later it'll have a different one. See what's going on there?
So they're the same lengths of time, but they're independent of each other. Well, semi-independent.
Yeah, they're independent.
Because obviously when you switch pages, then you have to sort of do two.
Right. So that's the part that makes this non-trivial. At least I can't conceive of the solution in my head and just see the whole thing because of this aspect of it. So I came into PowerPoint. I kind of drew this up here so that I could both visualize it for myself and then also be able to explain what the challenge is with what we need to do. I think I'm going to do this first, Roy. I'm going to do the background screen first. And once we get that so I'm happy, then we're going to go to the next step, which is to show the animation behind using the particle system we've already built.
So I'm imagining that you're talking about two sorts of things. You're talking about an attribute transition and a page transition. And if you calculate that it is an attribute on a different page, because in fact, for that matter, because you're being told to change page, that's the condition that's necessary to bother fading the background screen. Whereas if that's not the case, then you'll be keeping the background screen exactly the same way it is. And obviously, you're going to transition the attribute regardless.
Yeah, if the background's on another page, then we abort and shut off everything immediately. That's what we're going to do because we want to have a fast
Yeah.
entry. We board and shut off all emphasis immediately, like that. So that's does that answer your question, Rory?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So there's this idea that, oh, we've got a page change, wherever that is, then everything just shuts off right there, right? And nothing will be to the right of this if this is time moving across. Okay? So, okay, so that's that. Let's clear this on the screen. Let's try to see if we can figure this out. So I need to fade. The other thing here is that my fade out time is kind of unknown. Now, I think we've already got the ability for the sprite to set up its expiration time on a sprite, if I'm recalling correctly. Let's go look at sprite, because that's kind of what these things are. They're all sprites. Sprite proxy. Sorry, they're all sprite proxy descendants. And what do I got? I got a lifespan in milliseconds that we already pass in. So lifespan in milliseconds, and we set expiration date. Expiration date.
So it depends. You can either try for sort of an absolute. You kind of want to. What percentage of the life do you want to spend fading in one direction or the other?
Yeah. Check this out. We've got
or
fade out.
An absolute quantity at the start or end.
Yeah. Yeah. Notice we've got this fade out time right here. And this fade out time is right here flat out at 400 milliseconds, 4 seconds, essentially what's happening here. And then we've already got a fade out built in, but it's a 4-second fade out here if it's expiring. What I'm going to do is I want to change this. I'm going to change fade out time to this dot fade out time. And I'm just going to use a rename here because I can actually put dots in my rename like that. Then I'm going to clear this part out, copy that to the clipboard, move up here into sprite proxy, make it a field. So now the thing can specify what its fade out time is. I think that's all I really need to do. And I've got code that should all still work. This code was used for the drones and for the walls and things like that, as I recall. So I've got an option that says fade on destroy right here as well. So I think what we can do is we can say, okay, we've got to be careful with this because fade on destroy, hold on.
Well, by default, that's probably true if you're having to explicitly override it and say it's false for a drone.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see what I'm not sure. I'll take a look at that in a second. But I do want to say that if we have to shut down immediately, we have to set fade on destroy to false because we want to immediately get out of there. Or is that even not necessary? Because our expiration time is going to be, when we need to expire, we'll set it to whatever our fade out time is plus now. We'll advance it into the future, is what we'll do. And I feel like I lost what you were just saying, Rory. Say that again for me.
Oh, I just meant that the code you were looking through was the drone specifically, and that was the one setting it to false. Therefore, I think we can sort of assume that it's by default true for other things if we were having to override that there.
Let's look at that. That was our fade on destroy. That's in the drone.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is true right there. Okay.
So that's okay. So you've got a fade out time, which is kind of a fade in time as well. So it's the quantity of time to subtract from each end, which you're going to use for the purposes of fading. Yeah. So in the case of something that, let's say that if we were background, okay, and we've decided that we're not changing page, therefore we don't want to fade, you could effectively state that during that time the fade could either be reduced to 0, so it effectively immediately fades in, immediately fades out, or doesn't process, or just conditionally not do that part of the code at all.
Okay. That's me. That's my version of okay, because I was thinking about something else during that time, but I'm going to say that you're right. Okay, so do I have fade in any way that's not whole word? I do not have fade in. I think we're going to have to add a fade in time here.
Do you want to have explicit in and out times that are different?
Yeah, I think I do. So I'm going to say fade in time is 0.
Mm-hmm.
Now what we need to, wait, where am I? Yeah, I'm in Sprite Proxy. I want to make sure I wasn't over in drone. Okay, so I've got my fade in time right here of 0. Let's figure that out. Get alpha. If we need to figure out how much time since we've started is what I think we need to do. So we're going to say ln here to get a new number. We're going to say seconds alive, or maybe milliseconds alive. Let's say maybe ms alive. That's equal to now minus this dot, and I think I've got a birth time or creation time. What do I have? Start time? Time start.
Time start.
Okay, let's double check that time start is, just to make sure I'm in the same units. There's my seconds pass, so yeah, the answer is that sort of thing right there. Okay, so we are going to come back and we're going to say milliseconds alive is equal to this. Then we're going to say, hey, if milliseconds alive is less than my fade-in time, then our opacity is going to be, it's going to be some equation like this. Return this dot opacity, because individually I can set my opacity to like, say, 50%. I'm still going to need a fade-in time on it, right? So it's going to be that max opacity, whatever it is, times, I think, milliseconds alive, divided by this dot fade-in time.
Sounds
Holy
good.
Cow, is it that easy, Rory?
I think it may very well be.
And then that means now that all we need to do for our proxy, for our screen, let's go look at that. Now that's going to be in our character stats scroll. We've got the scroll. It's in the scroll backs. I've got 4 backs, and the first back out of this is at index 0. Is that right? Let's double check that. Let's go into our assets. Game dev, scroll backs. Let's open in Explorer. And I've got, yeah, back 0 is this one. And then 1, 2, and 3. Those are the 3 that I'm loading up from here. 1, 2, and 3, like that. So back 0 is at index 0. So starting from index 0, I am adding that scroll back at 0 right there. Let's just see how we're drawing and painting these right here. Sprites of 0. This is, oh, wait. I need to double check this. Why? I'm kind of, let me go back here a second. Let's scroll backs. There. Oh, and then this is the page I'm adding. There's the frame index. Okay, so we're not adding that yet. Hold on a second, though. Scroll back, draw, world. Okay, that's that. This is the one, draw de-emphasis layer. So it goes to scroll backs, draw cropped by index is what is called. And then we also have draw by index, depending on whether we're cropped or not. Let's look at draw by index and see what's going on here. Context.draw image. Okay, so it's just pretty much straight out drawing is what we're doing. I want to look at draw, compare it with draw, because I want to see if advanced frame if necessary. I just want to see, are we doing anything that's going to call something that's going to be able to calculate its alpha? My question is, where's the alpha that get alpha called? Right there.
Right, yeah.
Or maybe we don't. I think the alpha is not going to be called. Let's go find that. Let's go back to Sprite Proxy and see where get alpha is called. Get alpha is called in draw cropped for the whole piece, but not the individuals. Because what we're calling is, we're going into base animation calling draw cropped by index, but we're not calling get alpha on it. And I think that's what we need to do. So here, what we need to do is we need to come in and do something like this. Say context global alpha is equal to sorry, world.ctx.global alpha. What if fade in overlaps expiration? Well, I'm going to solve that problem later. Make sure fade in time is not 0, is S&B says as well. We'll take a look at that in a second. So scrollbacks dot sprites. Jeez, do I even have one? Ah, dang, I do not have one. So here's what's happening. I'm kind of using sprites in a non-standard way. And hold on, let's see where else we're using scrollbacks here. Are we ever creating? We're creating a page for it there. I'm using this in a non-standard way. And the problem is the code that we just wrote isn't going to work with it. I'm going to need to create a sprite proxy for this that we don't actually add to scrollbacks. It's completely different from the way we've used this in the past. But I think that's what I'm going to have to do because I want to be able to call alpha on it. So I want to create something called this.deemphasis sprite. Dang, I thought it was going to be easier, but oh well. So I've got my de-emphasis sprite, which we'll create. That's going to be a sprite proxy. My character stat scroll, there won't have its own individual opacity, so we're good there. And we're just going to call alpha on that, get alpha on that. With regards to, so the question of whether they overlap or not is the question. We should go back into sprite proxy here. The question is, right now, if they overlap, we fade in all the way before we expire and die. However, expiration date, I think it will be fading in. Expiration date is checked and the sprite just goes away. So what will happen is it'll fade in right now until it gets to the expiration date if they overlap, and then it'll disappear without ever fading out. That's what's going to happen. That's the answer to the question, Will Bennett. What if fade in overlaps expiration? I'm okay with that for right now. Right now I want it to immediately get away. That sort of thing. So
Sure.
if it expires. Okay, so now what I want to do is let's create this right here. Whoops. Copy that. I'm going to drop a marker right there so we can come back to it. And here's my constructor. So we'll say, do I already copy this? Yeah, I did. This is equal to new sprite proxy. Like that. Starting frame number is going to be 0. Its X and Y is going to be 0 and 0 as well. Love that. And lifespan is going to be undefined, is what it's going to be, the de-emphasis sprite. And then we're going to declare this. Okay, so now we've set that up. We need to set its fade in time. And we're going to set that equal to 1,000, like that. And so now we have created it, but we need to do one other thing. When we need to start de-emphasizing, this is where we're getting a little tricky, and now it gets a little, right? By the way, it's so funny, right? It's like we're working just on this part right here. We haven't even started these. This is a little how mind-bending this is. Okay. We need to change its start time whenever we start, when we transition a state from not emphasizing anything to emphasizing. We need a state change there.
Yes.
Let's go figure that out, where we're putting that state change. I think it's down near the end is where I've got these functions. Focus item, right here. So we need something to the effect that says, hey, ln total items. Now let's do this instead. Already emphasizing, let's make it a Boolean. So we'll say LB like that. Already emphasizing, like that. And we're going to say that equals this dot get already emphasizing, like that. Then we'll declare that. And why does it not, I'm disappointed in this. This tool should be able to get me there, at least tell that it's a Boolean.
Yeah.
And should also format it, but I don't know, I'm complaining now. Okay, so we're going to see if it's already emphasizing, and the answer to the question is basically, hey, do any of those three arrays that I just copied, this one, or this one, have any elements in them? Is, I think, what we're looking at. So we're going to say if this dot length, right? Don't I have a length? What is it? Dot sprites dot length. There we go. Is greater than 0. I'm not liking this code. Let me change something here a second. I want to go into sprites. I want to create a new Boolean function called hasAny. Okay, so I want a function that returns a Boolean. So FB like that, hasAny like this, and then I'm going to say return sprites.length is greater than 0. Perfect.
Nice.
Now my code's happier. Oops, this dot sprites. Now my code's really happier. And now I'm hit escape to get back to where we were. Escape one more time. And then I'm going to say dot hasAny. So there we go. If that's the case, or if the other one, or, and I'll paste those in a second. I'm just getting the pieces here. Copy that, drop a marker because I want to be right back down here. Paste, Alt-Shift-Home to get swap locations, Alt-Shift-Home, come back up like that, and then we can delete this line. Okay, and so already emphasizing is just going to be just a return of that right there. Oops. No, stop and tell a sense. There we go. Return of that or that or that. And I don't think I need the parens on the outsides of it. Okay?
So if I have anything in any of those three sets, then we are indeed already emphasizing.
Yeah, that's what we want to do. All right, excellent. Thanks, Rory, so much for helping with that. All right, so if we're already emphasizing, good. Let's do this.
So assuming we're already emphasizing something, that means that the page is already dimmed, that is de-emphasized itself, and thus we do not need to dim it any further.
Yes.
Whereas if we are not already emphasizing, then we need to start a process of making the de-emphasis layer more opaque.
Yes. So let's look at this. Currently emphasizing is equal to this. So basically,
Seems like there's a lot of negatives in this, double negatives, triples sometimes. It's interesting.
All right. So if we're currently emphasizing and we were not previously emphasizing, right? That's where I wanted to be, right there. And I want to have code that was easy to read on that. So let's see. So we've got that point. If that's the case, we've just started emphasizing. Then we want to say go to this dot de-emphasis sprite dot time start. Is that what we said it was? Time start is equal to, and guess who needs a now right now? Who doesn't have one?
Yeah.
I don't have a world. What do I have? Wait, do I have access to it as this? What am I? Do I have anything in this? I have a feeling this is going to be empty too as well. I don't have a world or anything like that. Nope. Okay. So let's go get a now and pass it in. I think we've got one outside here maybe. We do not.
But
okay.
The problem is that we've got a focus item is called from signal R, which has no understanding of that.
Yep. So the question is, where am I going to put it? And Will was saying, hey, don't put it out here. So I guess that means out here we're going to do it. We're going to come in here. We're going to pass in a now. So
does active game have any information?
Good idea. Let's try it. Let's see if I've got. How do I get out to active game? It is.
You had a reference to it from inside the previous focus call,
okay,
the outer
cool.
one.
Let's see what I got. Active game dot. How about that? All right.
That's nice.
That makes me. You can set a property on game and pass the game into the scroll. I'm gonna playing with this. I'm willing to risk that active game is all right. Fine. I'm going to say and active game. There we go, like that. Then we're going to say de-emphasis sprite at time start is equal to that. Okay. So now we've got that. Then we need to fade in. We've got our fade in time already defined on the de-emphasis sprite, right? Let's look at this. There it is. Fade in time is 1 second. And there we get our global alpha right there. Let's restore it on the other side of this to 1. So, you know, in case anything is not explicitly setting it, it still comes out at whatever opacity it's supposed to be. And let's go look at scrollbacks. So what other drawing there is out there? Make sure there's nothing else. Just add. There's the draw, but that's the draw for the actual back that's put in there. And then we have this. So now I think we might actually get a fade in. I think we've got a shot at it. And I think all we need to do is do a refresh out over here and bring up our controlling app.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see what happens. Okay, let's see. So there's that. Let's click here. That did not look like it faded into me. Let's try one more time. Nope, it's just instantly. Yeah, it's instantly coming in, isn't it? Yeah, that looks totally instantly coming in. All right, let's set some, let's figure this out. Get alpha now. Let's at least do a console log on this. Like that. And refresh it. See what we got. Whoops. Not sure what that was. Okay, here we go.
That's going to be hidden underneath the real version on the stream, Mark.
Oh, thanks so much. Good job for spotting that. Okay. All right, here we go. Now let's select this and, okay, got just a whole bunch of ones. So that
Well, that would explain the permanent opaqueness, at least, yeah. Okay, so get alpha is not apparently ever finishing with anything other than a 1.
So now minus time start. Let's see if our code is incorrect on this here. Yeah. Now minus time start should give us a distance in time. If it's less than our fade in time, which we said was 1,000, then it's going to be whatever our opacity is. So we still got to be to get to a 1 here. I think this is failing to get to a 1. Is what I think. Let me check one other thing though. Yeah, world of context global alpha. Huh. Well, I don't know if I can set a breakpoint here because we've already started running and Visual Studio doesn't seem to like these. Let's just keep doing a console log right here. Let's do this console log, milliseconds alive, and it's do that. Let's on get alpha, and I guess we'll just run with that. Is the fade in time? Let's double check the fade in time on that too. That we're setting that. I just want to make sure if milliseconds alive is less than fade in time. I think I need also. Yeah, that should all work right there. Here, let's do this. Go back over here, I think. All right. All right, so we'll do that. We'll refresh.
Yeah, the MS time is a good thing to log because it should do fairly quick increments from 0 up through 1,000.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. And let's bring this up. And so...
Well, that certainly went 0 through 1,000 and then further, so the value there seems correct.
Yeah, the problem is it's doing this for the sprite for the background. Let's see what happens when we do this. We're going to get some noise in here, I think, is the problem. Yeah, we're getting several, like 4 milliseconds alive for every other one piece that's out there.
Right.
So I think we need to... let's look at where the one starts showing up. Here it is, right here. We got one that's a negative. and
we could conditionally show it only for the things we care about. If we put a property or a field of some kind, allowing us to label it as, is debug, and then conditionally do the write line on the basis of I am a thing which is in debug.
I like it. It's a good idea. Let's do. Oh wait, hold on.
Clear the noise out the way.
Hold on. We've got get alpha and drone.
Ooh,
I want to make sure get alpha is not overridden anywhere else. Sprite proxy. That's what we know we're here because we're seeing this.
That's true.
So let's do this. Let's say if this dot debug. I love it. Then console.log. That makes me happy. Okay, let's come up here. Let's declare this. Let's drill into it. Fix the type. For some reason, Visual Studio likes to make me angry about that. And we'll set that equal to false. You could just put default parameter. Yeah, I don't know. Yes, I could do that. I was thinking about that too, but I kind of like this better in that moment. And so now...
nothing's in debug, so we have to set debug on specifically the things we care about.
Yeah. So let's jump back out to here. And let's go find what we created. And then we're going to say this.debug is equal to true. That. And... let's do something else too. I think we're getting a giant number back, and it's trying to set the alpha. And part of what we're dealing with is I think our math might be wrong. And so let's do this instead. Let's say new alpha, like this, and let's send that new alpha out instead, and say that's equal to this, like that, and then new alpha is here, and then I want to say new alpha here. I think we've got a problem with the math of the calculation or the time is kind of where I think we are. So now let's come back over here. Let's refresh. We should clean up some of that noise. All right, and let's switch over. And now let's click here. Okay, so what do we got?
Wow, those are some interesting figures.
All right, yeah, we're giant. Negative.
We're at negative huge.
Yeah.
And new alpha also negative huge, which I guess one derived from the other, so yeah.
So it says let's make it at 1.
We're subtracting the wrong thing from the wrong thing, aren't we?
Yeah, and it looks like we've got maybe something in seconds and something in milliseconds maybe. I'm not sure here. So could it be that our now passing in here is not in milliseconds? I bet it's in seconds, and that's why we're negative. So do we have, is it world.time? Is it now milliseconds? No, it's in game, active game. Or should I just multiply now times 1,000 is the question. Active game.now ms. I don't know. I'm nervous about this because then it just assumes active game is always out there.
What's passing into draw de-emphasis layer in the first place? Is that active game now ms in the first place? What's our source on that?
Draw highlighting, which is there. So
it's been fairly consistently used all over the place, that one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So all right, so I'm going to do this right here, and we'll see if that's any better. Either that or now times 1,000. I don't know.
I think now should be good. The question is, so we're
I'm going to do that. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Rory. What do you want to say?
Well, I think we're using now all over the place, and if it wasn't in milliseconds, I think we'd have had a lot of problems surely by now.
Now was originally in milliseconds. Then we brought some code changes in from Will, and then along with those code changes was a suggestion to say that now.
Oh, look above! Literally in the procedure above where we are multiplying by 1,000.
Oh yeah,
it's 3 times on the chart.
Yeah, we're doing that all over the place. And so we basically said, look, if the word is now without any digits on it, I mean without any unit indicator like milliseconds, then it's just seconds. So that's what we said. So I think that's our problem. Fair enough. Let's see what happens now. We come in here. There's that. Let's go click on
Present.
Hig dice. There's the fade in.
There's some fade.
Okay, good. Step 1 is done. All right, so that's not bad. So we were totally geniuses. We were on the right track. It was all going to work. Let me just come up here. Let's go find debug. Let's get rid of, wait.
There you go. That's the true, which
Yeah.
can be false now.
What I'm going to do is start here. So I'm going to start here, and I hit the tab key. I'm going to come down here, delete that, hit escape to get back to where I started, hit tab one more time, get to this line, hit escape to where I started, hit tab one more time until I don't go anywhere. And then that's just a really fast way to remove all references to something. And,
That's nice.
Okay, and that's just CodeRushed using the tab to next reference in there. Okay, so now we've got our de-emphasis sprite, and we are now successfully fading in.
We are.
Now, next, we need to come down into here, and we need to do the same kind of thing in our unfocus item.
Okay.
Okay, so we need a previously emphasizing and a currently emphasizing. And
Now, if we are unfocusing an item, if this routine is being called, is the overarching orchestrator of this understanding that it is, well, let me put it this way. If we are going to emphasize the second item, that is to say we've already emphasized one and now we're changing our direction, does it first unfocus item and then refocus second item? Is that high level stuff already happening?
yeah, I think that might be happening.
Okay, so this is just the missing piece here then.
Well, yes. Yeah, but that also could mean that we start essentially initiate a fade out and immediately come back and initiate a fade in kind of thing here. So we might actually have a problem based on your question. So we'll see what happens. So now what we want to do here is we don't want to do the time start. We want to say that the expiration date
Yeah, some kind of expiration minus
is equal
the
to
fade out.
ActiveGame.now.milliseconds plus this dot de-emphasis sprite dot fade out time. Like
Expiration
that.
date is now plus. So, but that would be the start of the fade out time. So are you not subtracting that from the expiration date that will have been stated? So if you've got something that is
Look, right. I know your question. Life remaining checks our expiration date minus now. So we're going to set our expiration date to the fade out time plus now, so that it will say, okay, now we're starting to fade out. That's what
so
we're
the
going to do.
fade out time is not the time that it will take to fade out, but it is the time at which it will start fading out.
No, the fade out time is the time it will take to fade out. So
Okay.
what I did, look at the code here. I say expiration date is equal to now plus the sprite's fade out time, whatever that is. Okay.
Okay.
And we should probably set that as well. We've got a fade in time here. We need a fade out time of 1,000.
Yeah.
That's what we need, like that. Okay. So let's try that and see if we can make that work. And I'm not sure. Let's see. I got to activate it, then hit enter. No, but it's still, I don't have an escape yet. I need a way to hit escape on this. I don't have any way to clear all of these yet. I don't have a clear. And let's wait. If I click here, no. Oh, this one stayed on. Hold on a second. I think there's a state bug here. If I just click it once and then I click away, that's my clear. So I can do a clear test. All right, so let's go refresh. It does not get into that. It gets in this weird state. I think I know where the state bug is on that. If I go into edit mode, so if I go in, here's the bug. If I click on it and then click away outside, it goes away. Wait, there's the fade in. Fade out did not occur. Fade out did not occur. Hold on.
We have some errors, however, in the browser there.
Those errors, don't worry about these. This uncaught in promise DOM exception basically is happening when I'm trying to play a WAV file. I'm trying to play, and I can't do it because Chrome says, sorry, we're not going to play any sound unless the user's been on this page. That allows me to open up a bunch of pages and not be overwhelmed with sound playing all over the place because I haven't actually clicked the page yet. But if I click on this page, these errors will go away, and now you'll hear the sound effect as I move.
Oh, yeah. Fair
Okay.
enough.
All right. So the state bug is this. I click there. Okay, no biggie. I click away. That's
Yep.
not the state bug. But if I click there, click one more time to go into edit, then hit enter, that change now takes it off the list, which means I can click elsewhere and it's as if it's not in that list. So I know where that
Yeah.
state bug is. I think I can fix it with edit and continue right now. That's inside the stat box over here. No, stat box stat box view code. Here's where I want to be. So I think we're doing a state change to display only that's not coming through the normal places. Nope. All right, well, let's go see where the enter key is hit. See if we can find that. Really? I got center. Here we go. State is equal to focused if we hit enter. Okay. So why isn't that triggering the on key changed? Let's do, I think, two things here. Let's do this. We have edit changed. I want to see what's happening with, maybe I should, text is on text change. We set those there. When we are changing the state and we go into editing, I think I want a breakpoint here. All right, let's play with this a second. So I'm going to go click one more time here, and now I'm in here. Now what I want to do is I want to say save text is equal to txt edit dot text. I want to be able to support like a restore here. So let's declare
so a
this.
cancellation of your changes.
Yeah. So let's go do this. So we're going to save the text there. There's our string. We've saved it. Then I want to come down. Let's go ahead and run it. We'll just run it like that. So edit and continue appears to be working.
And technically, you haven't run that line yet.
Yeah. I haven't run it, but I'm going to do it now. That's why I came back over here. Now I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to hit escape. Wait, I'm going to change it first to something else.
No, you're in the code, man.
Oh, man. Makes me
Breakpoints
sad.
on editing.
Oh, right, of course. Okay, fine, no worries. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, if key is equal to escape, then we're going to do two things. Then we're going to say text is equal to save text, like that. And then we're going to say state box state is equal to display only. And then we're going to, and then I think I'll put an else right here too. That's what I'll do. So now, well, we can test it. Let's clear our breakpoints and see if that works now. So now there's our 1D4. Let's do it one more time. 1D4, and then we're going to say blah, like that, and then we hit escape, and it goes back to 1D4. Cool.
Nice.
And if I come in and say blah like this and hit enter, then it kind of goes to there, but it's in display only. And maybe enter here, we should change the state as well, back to display only. I'm starting to think I want to do that. So let's do this, and we're going to come in, and then we're going to hit enter, and then I think I'm going to change to this instead. That's what I think I'm going to do. Set next statement here, and clear the breakpoint and run. Okay, and so now there's my blah. Come in here, 1D4, enter. Good. So now I have the ability to make changes, and it's not a big deal. Oops, just hit escape, and I'm back to where I was. Okay, so now I've got that. Let's come over here, and I think I know what my problem is here on this side. I refreshed, but it was a little too soon. So our de-emphasis sprite, we call draw de-emphasis layer. We call that in draw highlighting. we check to see if we are highlighting, which comes back to see if any of these things are true. Okay? But I think I think this is the deal right here. This is basically checking to see, oh, and guess what? We can fix this to use our new has any, right?
Yeah.
Like that. Clean that
Much
code
nicer.
up a bit. Has any, and guess what? This is identical code to what we just wrote in another place. So we can call that function
So
instead. Let me go find has any. It's in currently emphasizing, right? So, so what I really want to do is I want to say, well, let's just return this dot currently emphasizing, okay? And then I want to say, or this dot de-emphasis sprite dot expiration date is less than now. Let's go see where we are highlighting is called from. We need now in all of these. Now. Okay. So we need this is the expiration date is less than now times 1000. So we're going to pass in now here. Just noticing this needs to be a void we return back. And draw highlighting. And draw highlighting here is taking our now as well, so that's going to be in seconds. So I feel pretty good about that. So that might fix it. So if our expiration date is less than now times 1000, so we haven't expired yet. So what that means is I can remove everything that I'm showing out there, right? And I think we're good. We are highlighting should be Boolean. Yes, it should be. Thanks. Excellent suggestion. Okay, let's see if that works. Whoops, that's the one I want to get on screen to refresh it. Hold on. There and there. I think we don't need the console window up anymore. I like we've been able to do a lot of work here in without restarting. So that's kind of happy.
That was nice.
Let's click that so we get sound effects. Oh, that's not good though. Our expiration date, we got a problem. I bet it goes away when I do this. Hold on a second. Let's click on this. And so we fade it in, and now we go away. No. But look at that fade in though.
That's quite nice. The fade in's working nicely.
We were geniuses when we wrote that. Yeah, so we've got some problems here. Isn't that funny? Like I thought I was going to solve this in an hour, and we're like in an hour, and we're halfway done the solving of this. And there's some state issues. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we figure out what's going on. The first problem is it's on when we start, and so let's figure out that problem. I think the problem is our expiration date needs to be set immediately for that. So the de-emphasis sprite is here. We are going to say de-emphasis sprite dot expiration date equals, do I have a now in my constructor?
Does not appear so.
All right, we're going to go with active game dot now at milliseconds. That's what we're going to do. Okay, and let's refresh.
Janiscu7 says nice highlight feature. I guess you're just joining us. This is actually very nice. We're just working on the de-emphasizing after the highlighting, just to bring everything up to speed.
No,
and we're trying to figure out why that's not quite working yet.
Expiration date is equal to now. What's wrong with my code? This code is, sorry, that's my fix. If the expiration date is greater than now times 10,000. That's my problem. I had that reversed, I think. Let's see if that works now. Here's my refresh. Here's my WPF controller app. All right, so let's see here. We're going to switch click on it so we hear sound effects. There's the highlight in, and click away. That's what we wanted. All right, there we go. So we got to fade in, and we got to fade out when we stop highlighting. So that's not bad. I want to change those times. I want those to be about like 600 milliseconds instead, but it's not bad. Now, good. Roy, do you want to say something?
I'm just looking. I'm assuming that the second part of this is the fact that the thing being highlit or lit up is immediately fading to nothing. That is to say, it's completely de-emphasizing on the way out and then fading back up with everything else. So is that the second piece, as it were?
I think it's not. I think the second piece I want to do is this. So here, notice I'm here. When I click here, see, watch what happens. Does this thing flicker or flash or start? Yeah, see what happens? And it fades in again. This, I think I don't want to do. BitPixie is following. BitPixie, thanks for that follow. See what I'm saying there, Rory? I would say if I'm just going to go from here to here immediately, or maybe I want to shift click on both of these. Ooh, the shift click works. Shift click is not bad.
Yeah.
Okay, shift click is what it does what I want. Maybe I could just live with that, right? Where it's like if I want to click this, it kind of goes away. I might live with it.
So it's like when you click second item, everything resets except the shade, which then fades out and then fades in again.
You're talking about when I shift click.
There's something jagged. No, not with the shift click. Shift click's fine. It's when you shift from one thing being highlight to an alternative thing being lit.
Yeah. So if I do this to here,
that's good.
Now I click on this. What happens is the emphasis screen, the de-emphasis screen goes to fades in again. It just starts a new fade in. And what I want it to do is realize that, oh, you know what? We just cleared out. The problem is, I'm almost willing to live with it. The problem is that we are unfocusing first, right? Which comes in here, creates this expiration date, and then we're immediately coming back in and calling focus item. What I want to do is
you want a callback almost, so that when it's finished one, then it starts the other.
Well, I guess, or I want, maybe one, item, one call that just does everything, and then afterwards we make the check, right? That's a fix. Another fix, which I don't really like because it's, extra stuff that barely holds its weight, is we add a new field variable whose sole purpose is to just mark the time that we just cleared all the items and check to see if we're starting new ones in. And that time that is because we kind of have it already. Hold on. We have this right here. Sakalo35 says, hello, greetings to you. We have the time marked in terms of the expiration date right here. We can do this to fix it. Come right down here. We can come in here and say, well, look, we only need to do a change to the time start if the expiration, let's see, hold on a second. If the expiration date is less than, wait, hold on. Yeah, if it's less than now plus it's, no. If it's less than now, I think. If my expiration date is less than now, then we do this. Otherwise, my expiration date is still in the future, which means we don't need to change the time start. I think that will fix it. Let's see if that fixes it.
That sounds good.
Hey, I can make anything sound good. I can make anything sound like, oh, there's a chance this will work. I've got a crazy idea. All right. Hold on, I got some text in. Okay. I want to make sure we're cool with that. All right, so let's change this. All right, click there so I get sound effects when I change. And now we're going to click there's dexterity. Now let's click on Constitution, and I want to see no change. I got to fade out. What the?
That was interesting.
Oh, wait, I know what I got to do though. Hold on. It's the expiration date hasn't changed. Okay? So what I want to do here is I want to say, hey, if it's greater than that, then I want to say, well, okay, expiration date equals ActiveGame.now milliseconds. Otherwise, my time start is going to do that. That's now what I think is my new one is that I think is going to fix this. So let's just put braces around there. We had a request from someone who's watching. They thought this was easier to read. So there we go. We've got him. Let's go try that now. And your turn, Rory, to say, this is your chance to say, sounds really good. This sounds like this might work.
I'm very optimistic that
Brilliant.
we're definitely heading in the right direction.
Now let's see what we got here. There we go. There's that. Here's the fade. Let's go to Constitution. There we go. That's what we want. Whoa, whoa. Oh, no, wait, because I missed it. I missed it. It's okay. I missed the hit. So we're good right there. Well, it says welcome. He's throwing out a test orbit for us right there.
So Constitution is selected already. And if you were to click something else now, we would expect it to
we're good.
Stay.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's good.
Yeah, what happened was I clicked right off of it a little bit, like down here. And then it thought it was done. But yeah, we're good. So I can come in here, shift click on these, click up here. It knows I'm still highlighting. If I switch to another page, we're good. Notice, by the way, on the switch to the page, this is gorgeous, by the way. When I switch the page, it fades out the highlighting. Watch it. Isn't that awesome?
That's nice, yeah.
It's all, that's a sign of, I think, well-written code, right? It is.
I would say so, yeah.
It is code that as you start multiplying the different state kind of conditions, it still behaves as expected, right? I'm like, okay, good. That's a good sign. And I'm not saying that to be like, hey, I wrote really awesome code. I'm saying that because as a developer, you're like, hey, if you see things like this, that's a good sign. And from that, I take the quality of the code in my mind is up a notch because it's done that. Now, had we kind of multiplied kind of state conditions and seen new problems, then in my mind, the quality of the code would drop. And so I kind of, as a developer, I have a continual assessment on the overall quality of the code as I'm working with it. And that's, of course,
it's like you built two features which were essentially independent, but you built them well enough that they didn't conflict with each other when they happen to occur at the same time.
Yeah, when they're working together.
They play nice.
Yeah, the two features, and what we're talking about there is as we're dropping it down, as we're rolling it in, we are cropping all kinds of things. In fact, this is one of the beautiful things that's happening here that is not at all obvious, right? These numbers that you're seeing here are all drawn live on top of the bitmap, right? But even as when we change pages, those numbers are also cropped out as the scroll's coming up and down, right? So not only are we're cropping this bitmap here as well as the scroll comes in and down, right? All of this to make it look like it's really paper opening up, right, with this background level, and it's all happening. So
the test of this is that we don't notice anything wrong. It all looks real. This is what would happen with a scroll, but all these layers are being built independently. So if, for example, we weren't cropping the numbers, you'd see the scroll fold up and then there'd be this white background with all the numbers still over the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? But we don't see that. It does look real, and that's just testament to how all these pieces do work together.
Yeah, so I'm feeling good about this, right? This is one TypeScript class that we essentially have to deal with and work with. It keeps track of pages, it handles data, communication via SignalR, all for being an overlay for this Dungeons and Dragons show that hopefully will get off the ground. By the way, with regards to test, I added also test, whoops, wrong thing is highlighted. With the emitter test, I also added test rainbow, which is kind of this super cool test here, right there. I love that. And that's also one of those aspects there is you suggested we add drift to the hue. All right, so good. I am now at a point, so good. We don't have, now here's the thing we don't have. When I highlight, I don't have a fade in on this piece right here. But I think we can add it pretty quickly, actually. Let's see if we can do that here. So we are going to, it's in focus here. We're going to add this element. Here's where we do the add. Does the add return it? I really want it to return it. This is also awesome design. So look at this. This function add creates it, pushes it, adds it, and returns it, which means I can now come in here on my add and I can say...
just chain an additional effect.
Yeah, I can say fade in time is equal to 500, like that. Look at that. And it's so fast and easy to come in there. I don't have to create a new local variable, do anything like that. I can just make that change. And I think that's all I need to do to get a fade in on this. And I kind of want it to be fast. Let's actually, I'm going to make it to like 400 instead. And I think I also wanted to change, did I change it on my de-emphasis sprite? I forget if yeah, my fade in and out time, I want to make these faster too. I'm going to make these 700 each. That's what I'm going to do. 700. Okay, so now let's come back in, refresh. And now we should get the fade in on this, which would be so sweet when we are changing these around. Okay, click over here so I get the sound effects. Let's click up here. Yeah, I think I saw the fade in. Let's now shift click. Nice.
That's nice.
Isn't that nice?
There's something really satisfying about that.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. Now I don't have a fade out time on these guys yet. So if I click down here, they kind of go away. But I think we can get the fade out time, although not as easily as we just got them with the wherever we were with the we were creating the new one here. Let's go.
Is a fade out time going to be noticeable on there? Because you're removing the shade in a faded sense, leaving the pieces on top to be the same emphasis level as they would have been in the original backdrop. So is there a visible effect going to come from that?
Yeah, I think there will. If we come over here right now and we go to our app and we say click to do that.
So that fades in nice. That's good.
Yeah. If I shift
Second one
click,
would fade in similar.
now I'm going to click a new one, which watch the two that are currently highlighted. They should immediately stop, and the other one fades in. So it would be nicer if those faded out.
Right, I see what you mean. Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
I was misconstruing. I thought when you were clicking away and the whole of the shade fades out.
Yes,
that was a different circumstance.
Yes, that's what you were talking about. That one right there. No, we don't need it there. So when we click there, we don't need it. But actually, even look at what happens right here. When I click away, watch speed go immediately to nothing, right? I mean, because it immediately goes to nothing, which means we're only looking at the emphasis layer, which means everything behind it kind of comes in. So we do need to fix that, although I'm not going to fix it now. How much time do you have, Rory, by the way? How long are you with us?
I can probably go another 10 minutes or so.
Okay. So I think what I want to do in 10 minutes is make a stab at, so I'm not going to fix this now, fix this later, because it's going to involve some trickery in this, is what it's going to involve, because we're going to stop highlighting, which means we need to take them out, but we don't need to take them out immediately because we need to still draw them. We need to wait till they completely disappear. Their opacity goes to zero. They've expired. So that means some of our tests have got to change. Instead of checking to see if, instead of checking to see, God, do I want to fix it now? I feel like I want to fix it now because I've got a clear picture of what this is going to look like. Let's go look through these here. So has any is here. What we really want to do, so there's two different things. Currently emphasizing. The question of currently emphasizing is checking to see are any that we're currently seeing up that are alive and not fading out. That's really the question we want to answer. And so the has any here is answering that question. Let's look at the other has any. Wait. Okay, good. So it's just currently emphasizing. So that means any are still alive, either fading in or up to the point where they're about to fade out. That's what we're looking for here on currently emphasizing.
Yeah.
So now, part of the problem is remove by frame index here is going to pull it out, is what it's going to do. What I need to do instead is have something that says kill by frame index, right? Kill by frame index is what I needed to do here. So let's do this. We're going to do this in the 10 minutes you have and see if we can fix this. And I think I'm going to keep going after you leave, Rory, and we're going to do, after this, we're going to bring the emitter in and have it highlight it as well. So we have, as this comes in, we can see, we've got kind of the magic dust floating around it. So I want kill by frame index. Let me just undo this one and just so I can jump into it here. And then now I can change it back to kill by frame index. Let's swap back over to where we were. There's remove by frame index. We're going to say kill by frame index. What I mean by this is we are going to say if that's equal to the frame index, then we're going to say sprite dot expiration date, and we're going to have to pass in now, I think, to this as well. Expiration date is equal to now plus sprite dot fade out time.
Yep.
Okay, like that.
So effectively, you're marking it for later removal.
Yes, exactly. So kill by frame index is going to need a now. Unfocused item doesn't have a now. Did we add it to focus item above? We did not. Oh, active game.now.
Active game, yeah.
That's what we're doing. Okay, good. So we're going to do that. So that means kill by frame index is going to be that. And we need that. Come on. And one more right here. Okay, so that's kill by frame index. Let's jump down into kill by frame index again. We add the now over here. So just type in VN spacebar, type in now. That's going to be in milliseconds because of our convention. So
yeah.
That's going to be now milliseconds. This is a void that we're returning. And so that's going to set my expiration date. Okay, that's step one. Step two is our currently emphasizing call needs to be not has any, it needs to be has any alive, like this. And let's do kind of the same thing here. And now we're going to say...
Do we? Oh, no, we do have an expert. Yeah, okay, that shouldn't be too hard.
So has any alive is what I want right here. Let's jump out to here. We want that to be has any alive as well. And I need, currently emphasizing, I think I need active game now at milliseconds over here. So let's do this. ln now is equal to active game now. Pass in now for all of these. Has any alive? Has any alive? Okay, let's go implement that. And now we're going to say, we're going to just do a real quick thing here. If sprite's length is equal to 0, then we're going to say RF, return false. Then otherwise we're going to, we need a for each here on the sprites, or a for loop rather. Let's do that. For I to equal that to sprites.length. And then we're going to say, I'm going to copy that line of code there, paste it in there. There's the sprite. And then we're going to say if this sprite.expiration date is greater than now, which I forgot to pass in, now is milliseconds.
Yep, now MS in theory from our new, I say new, our stylings.
I think you were out for that one right there. So if it's greater than it, then we're going to say return true. Got something alive. Otherwise, we're going to say false. So now I think we have the ability to support fading in and out. Let's do one more thing to make this kind of easier. What do we got here? Return. Will Bennett says return this.sprites.sum. Okay, fine. Will is nudging me over to get all this right, to do this the better way here. So we are, where are we? We were in Sprite Proxy, I think. Where were we? Has any? This was where we were, right here. So I think we're looking at this instead.
This is good.
Test it your way first. Fine. That's what we'll do. We'll test it this way first. Good idea. All right. So we're going to do that. We're going to come back here. I'm going to drop a marker so we can get back here. We need to go. Do we need to do anything else? Have I missed anything is the question. Kill by frame index. I have that now. I think I'm has any.
I know it's all should be working. One might argue that you could pass active game now MS into comp relief, emphasizing and rather than sort of calculating it within, but it should still work either way for now.
I know what the pieces I missed. I missed this right here. And I'm going to change this to set fade times 400, 400, like that. So I'm going to change it to a function we call, so, because I still like this. That's the piece I was missing that I wanted to get. So we've declared that. This is going to be our fade in time. Copy that to clipboard. And let's go paste it there, change it to fade out time. Maybe create a now MS property so you don't have to repeat activegame.now MS all over the place. Yeah, good suggestion. TSP to return a sprite proxy. Type proxy to sprite proxy. We added that a while back. Okay, let's put this down here, and we're going to say this dot fade in time equals fade in time. Boom, like that. And then do this. And change that to out. Nice. And then we're going to say return this. Because I'm now thinking, wouldn't it be cool if we could just chain a bunch of these that we likely want to do in case we do. So there's my fade in and fade out time. Now I think there's a shot that this will work. Let's refresh. I think we're right at the end of your 10 minutes too.
Getting there.
Amy, are we? Yeah, I think we're about right about there. Let's wait till that comes up. What class are you talking about, though, Will? I want to get a sense of that. All right, so let's see. We're going to click on strength. What? Whoops. Oh, did we totally blow it?
Broke something.
Hold on. I think it's in has any alive is where I think the problem is. Let's go look at ooh, what's going on here? I'm not setting it here and here. What's going on here? Add emphasis. Where's this coming from? Oh, these are our test pieces. Okay, so that's not related to our problem. Let's go find has any, wherever the heck that is. Has any alive. That's what I want. All right, if the expiration date is greater than now, is the problem that my expiration date is never set when we're adding it? That might be the problem. Wait a second. Expiration date, it's never set because it doesn't expire. Oh. So what I think I want to do, well, if it doesn't expire, I'm not setting it to anything, right? I think it's going to be like this. If expiration date and that. Is that the fix? I'm not sure if that's going to work or not. Let's see if that's the fix. I like that really introspective.
You say a lot with a strange noise.
So we got sprite expiration date or now MS. Maybe, yeah, Will wants to get me in that direction too. Hold on a second, Will. Let's look at this. Persuasion is not highlighting. Yeah, it's the same problem. I'm pretty sure we've got a problem with this. With has any live is returning false. If expiration date, hold on.
it holds a value and the value is greater than now, thus it is yet to expire, thus it is alive.
Yeah, hold on. I think I want to do something else here. No, wait, hold on. If that's the case, hold on though. But what about the case when, but expiration date should not be set otherwise. This expiration date, kill by frame index, is going to be set there. It should not be set anywhere else. I just want to make sure that it's not set anywhere else inside of here. That's destroy by, what's going on here? That's if we set a lifespan, if it's greater. So we're setting it to null. So that means that, yeah, that should work. That feels like that code is right.
So the thing is that there can only ever be something alive if it is capable of expiring.
Should I do this right here?
If it's incapable of expiring, then it should also be alive. So
yeah, if it doesn't, if it has not been killed yet, if it's not been killed, then expiration date is going to be null. I just added this as a check. I just want to test this real quickly to see if my understanding of, if null is going to still come back with a value or not. Because, is that true, or is that considered true in JavaScript or not?
I think there's a distinction between null and undefined.
Yeah, that's what I think is the issue there. I want it to return true. Let's see if this fixes it. Okay, so dexterity. Nope, same problem. Same problem. If the length is 0 or false, is my problem...
You see, this is the thing. If you have an item that is incapable of dying, i.e. it will never expire, should it still be considered alive?
Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, then if you do not have a null or the expiration date, if it is null or undefined,
that's it,
or the date is in the future.
Thank you. Okay. I hang my head in humbleness to both you and Will. Yeah, that's the problem. I think that's it. Let's try that. And that's why you guys get paid the big bucks. And I'm out here I'm a medium for your brilliance, yours and Will's to reach the world. Okay, so now let's try it. Constitution. Good job, guys. Dexterity. Oh, I missed it. It's okay. Dexterity, Constitution, shift click, and now click away. Wait, we had a problem with the click away though. That didn't work. It's the we've got a problem with the
when you click away, it's fading away the individual item and then removing the shade.
Yeah, let's go look at where we're setting that for our de-emphasis. Here, let's come up here. De-emphasis sprite. Let's go find that and see where we're setting the expiration date. So that says it's expired. Hold on here. Okay, hold on now. Currently emphasizing.
Didn't you add a bunch of set fade times a little higher up that weren't there before in the previous version when that was working relatively well?
I'm sorry, I'm looking at this, the currently emphasizing. The expiration date, I'm sorry, what did you ask me, Roy? Ask me that again?
So up around line 421 there, just a little off the screen at the top, You've got 3 sets of set fade times, which in our previous iteration weren't there. You sort of put them there as we were trying to fix the other problem.
These are unrelated. This is from a function called add emphasis, which is only called from Dragon Game in response to our test pieces that we're passing in there. So totally unrelated. The problem is, I think, I'm not exactly sure where the problem is yet, but it feels like it's here or here, currently emphasizing. So You're 10 minutes longer than mine, Rory.
The log jam of jokes in my head mean that I can't say a word. Um,
It's a literal joke jam. He's got a joke jam
yeah.
in his head. Okay, so there's the problem. The problem is somewhere in the unfocused item. If we're currently emphasizing, so let's do this. Let's send these out right here to the log. So we're going to say, I think I have a CLOO template for putting this object out very quickly, previously emphasizing like that. And
Nice.
let's grab our currently emphasizing and use the same template, CLOO, like that, and paste that in. And then we're going to go to refresh, and let's see what it's looking like there. That's an unfocused item. Feels like it's a little bit performance issue there, moving the window around. Okay, so we're going to say this, then we're going to click away, and let's go look at what the console said. So let's just clear this one more time so we can see it as it's happening. So we're going to go click away, and we went for currently emphasizing, previously emphasizing. Currently emphasizing should have been false. So this currently, we have kill frame by index. What's my problem here? Has any alive? Now, hold on. Are they alive expiration date, or expiration date is greater than, hold on, there's the problem is right here. Expiration date is greater than now.ms plus, whoops, sprite dot fade out time.
Okay. Yeah.
That, I think, is the fix. All right, so let's refresh. Okay, dexterity, and let's go
Check.
to click away. Perfect.
That looked good.
Nice. I'm really happy.
Very good.
It's not bad. I think we can
Success.
speed up the times even more, right? And get even more. Rory, thank you so much, buddy. I
No
appreciate
problem, my friend.
you hanging out. Your contributions are both valuable and invaluable.
Vaguely present.
Will Bennett says, see you, Rory. We totally appreciate it, you being here, Rory.
All right, guys. We'll catch you tomorrow then, yeah?
All right, see you tomorrow.
Have a good one.
I'm
Bye.
going to keep going. Rory's getting out of here. Let me give away a copy of CodeRushed because, that's what we do. We do that every once in a while because it's time for the
CodeRushed giveaway.
We're going to give away this copy of CodeRushed. We'll get right back into the code right afterwards. CodeRushed is the product I'm using. It sits inside Visual Studio. Helps me write code faster. I talk from time to time. I mention some of the things I'm doing to help write code faster. That's what's happening. Today's winner is
Sparkle Frost.
Sparkle Frost. Congratulations, Sparkle Frost. You have won yourself a copy of CodeRushed. I will DM you shortly after the show and with instructions on how you can get that. Oh, it looks like my overlay has moved a little bit. All right, just moved it back. All right, so that's good. Okay, cool. So now we have the highlighting.
Back to the code.
Back to the code. Yeah, this is feeling pretty good to me. I want to make a small tweak here with how quickly this highlights, I think. I want it even faster than this. The 400 is not fast enough for me. So I think it's not fast enough for me. I think these guys, I want them to be faster. Let's go find that 400 in the code here. Where is it? Over in character stat scroll. And they are right there. And let's go fix this to, let's create a read-only constant here. By the way, I improved the CodeRushed templates here. Let me show you this. We're not shipping these yet, but you'll get these in the next release. So if I'm here and I want to create a constant that's a number, I type in Q for constant and then N for number, like that, and it gives me this right here, which is essentially a read-only kind of entry. Scrolls blocking. Oh,
Hey, Mark.
got it. Let's fix that. All right. Good job, Will. Thank you for that. All right, so let me do that again. So if I want to create a constant here that's a number, I type in Q and then N like that, space bar, and it expands it, or the tab key, whatever you use to expand your templates. And in here, I just type in the name of my constant, whatever it's going to be. For example, the time, like that, hit enter, and then I can give it some sort of initial value, hit enter, and I'm at the end. That's what QN does there. In the new templates that are coming out, a QN also expands correctly out here. So here, but it'll give me static read-only. So I can use the same template to create essentially a read-only entry, since inside of a TypeScript class, I can't put const there. I can't create a const there. But I can create a static read-only piece there, and I can say, like my fade time, like this, and set it equal to 400 like that, and then now I'm done. So now I can do that. I wonder if tab to index reference works here. Nope, does not. We had that working at one point, but we turned it off for performance reasons and never turned it on again. So I know I want to change these, set fade times. Let's do this to make it faster. Come down here. Oh, I got to do this, dot fade time. Okay, let's put that there. What's failing here? Oh, because it's static? You're going to make me do this, aren't you? Character stat scroll. Okay. It doesn't all fit on one line. I'm not as happy about that, but and here, and here, and there. If you make it non-static, then you can do this. Yeah, I guess I can do that if I make it non-static. Yeah. All right, let's do that. Okay. Better, and it fits on the screen, and I like that better. Okay, good suggestion, Well. Thank you for that. Let's see if we're calling set fade times anywhere else. Okay, nowhere else. Let's change our fade time to 300. Drop it down by 100 milliseconds. Let's refresh. See if we like that a little bit better. Okay. All right. And yeah, much better. I love it. Shift clicks, they fade in. Click away. So if I click away, they all go away, but I'm okay with that. Going to the page, I'm okay with that because I want a kind of a fast getting them out. I'm okay with that for now. Yeah, it's working for me. I totally like it. And it's better, so even though I have a short fade in and fade out time, right, it's still better than before when it was just like popping it right there, right? That's going to be great. That's a nice effect. Okay, next I want to now have the particle emitter behind this piece that we're drawing the particles coming out. So I want to do that next. And I think to do that, let's see here. Hold on. Oh, it's so funny. You know what's interesting? I just realized my eyes were on this scroll right here, not realizing that the overlay was on top of what we were of the stream there, and that you were watching it live on top of the stream, which is still pretty cool. Let me just reset that. Move this over here. yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about, in general, the highlighting. I think it's definitely workable. Definitely something that we can work with and use. So I feel pretty good about that. I do have this bug where if I click on something that's on another page, it doesn't know to change the page because I haven't clicked down here yet. So I need to fix that. That's the bug right there. So it knows to change the page. That's over in C#. I'll do that later. But I do want to work on the particle thing now. And so to do the particle thing, let's look at that. Let's first figure out one particle. I guess we'll do this one right here, this one over strength right here. So if I want to create a particle emitter here, I essentially need to know 3 numbers to make this happen. Maybe 4, arguably. I need to know its center point. I need to know the size of the rectangle, if it's a rectangle. And if it's a circular emitter, I need to know its radius. So I'd use a circular one here. So I need to know its height and its width. Those are the 3 things I need to know. And I think that's it. So I think I need a class to hold this data is what I think I need. So let's go do that. Let's create that class. I'll put it up here in character stat scroll right now. And I need, okay. So we're going to call this our highlight emitter. Is what I think we're going to call it. Scrolls blocking. Got it. Okay. So we're going to call this the highlight emitter. And it's going to have a property of center X, like that. Center X, center Y, and it's going to have a property of width. Nope, I don't know if I'm going to do that because it could be radial as well. I think I'm just going to do this, make these public. So PB is my shortcut for public. So PB and a space bar there gives me the public. And there's our highlight emitter. And then what I think I want to do is do something similar to what I've got in the emitter itself, which is, or just center vector, thanks, yeah. Yeah. Will, you're like my favorite pair programmer that I can't hear. Not that I enjoy not hearing you. It'd be faster if you were just saying it, but you're always guiding me to do things that are not intuitive, not necessarily the first thing I would do. And I like that. So thank you for that. Okay, so we've got a center here, which we've now got. So we're going to pass in the center as a vector. And we need to have, it's got a, I think it's going to have, yeah, we're going to go over to emitter. I'm not going to actually build an emitter yet. I'm only going to build it when I need it. So, but I'm going to store the data I need to build the emitter. Looks like it's not open, so let's go get it. That's down in our game engine. There's our emitter right there. It had a couple pieces I was interested in. I'm interested in this right there. Okay. So I need, no, I don't want that. Hold on a second. I was thinking I was going to do that. Now I've changed my mind. I'm going to come in here instead and create an enum called an emitter, highlight emitter type. And that's going to have 2 options. One is radial, and the other one is rectangular, like that. And And then we're going to add some properties here. So we're going to do, we're going to create a width. We're going to create a height. Change the type based on aspect ratio. Yeah, but then I can't have a square when I actually need a square. And I do actually need squares. I've got a couple like level. I want a square there because I want because it's the way the particles will spread. When you're not going to see the particles behind the highlight piece, right? This, for example, this piece right here, right? It's going to block the particles, but when they get on the other side of the particles, you'll see them. Hugo says, I've forgotten because I've blinked since it was mentioned. When will the particle appear or trigger? So here's what's going to happen on this. Right now, if we look at this right here, let me switch views here so we just see only this one. The particle is going to trigger when we highlight one of these options. So we're going to put the particle emitter, right behind this. And so we're going to see particles coming out from this. Just like we see the particles coming out from the scrolls like that, those little magic dust particles, we're going to see those same particles, but probably dropped down in opacity right behind the element that's highlighted. So when I click here, you're going to see them behind here to really draw your eyes in. That's what the trigger is. So for right now, what we're building here is we're going to build something that just kind of holds the data we need to create it when we need to create it. And then later we'll create it when it's time to actually create it. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to also create a radius like this. And then I want to have a highlight emitter type come in here like this. And so this is going to be public, something like that. Highlight emitter type, or maybe just emitter type, or maybe just type like that, because we are a highlight emitter already. Which one? I don't have my comma. Missing a comma there. Okay, so that's my highlight emitter. And I think that's all I need. Everything else is going to be created on the fly. I'm going to need an array of these things down here. So I want an array of highlight emitter, which I think I copied to the clipboard. Did I fail to do that? Looks like I did. Fail to do that. Equals new. Hold on. I am not in WPF. I'm only in TypeScript. Yeah. Thanks, Will, for including that. Yeah. Hugo is just saying, want to make sure for WPF, wouldn't an attached behavior possibly be cleaner? And the answer is likely to be yes, because, but it's been long enough since I've learned about attached behaviors that I won't be able to answer that with certainty. Okay, the highlight emitter, we actually need 3 groups of this. And I think I need to create a class called a highlight emitter pages, like this. So let's create another class here, highlight emitter pages. That is going to have an array of highlight emitters like this. And these are going to be our emitters like that. And instantiate that. And now our highlight emitter pages, we are going to need something like that too. Highlight emitters. Highlight emitter pages, like this, and it's going to be that. I just used Shift-Enter to duplicate the line so it was fast to create it, because I knew I needed something just like that. So here we go, there's that. Then inside here, I need a function like draw. Whoops, I don't need a function that returns a number, just a regular function, f. So render, like that. World.context, so I think I want a context here, so vctx, whoops, ctx, that's the variable we gave for that. We'll say context for that. That's our render. And then we're going to come in here and do a for each on our emitters. There's our emitter, and then we're going to go in here and call render and pass in the context like that. Whoops, wrong place, hold on. Say if emitter dot alive still alive, maybe something like that. Then emitter dot render context. And this is this right here. That's the piece we're missing right there. Yeah, the UI looked like the WPF part. It totally does. That is looking like this. But this is, the cool thing what we're doing here is this is actually super crude because I don't need to, this is not something anybody's going to, I'm selling this to anybody really. This is just something that the game master needs to be able to work with and make changes to. So this needs to look gorgeous, and because this is going to be seen by everyone, this just needs to be functional. So that's kind of where we are with that. Yeah, but they do look alike. So, okay. So let's go back over here. So we need a renderer. So let's declare render. And let's declare still alive as well. Still alive is going to be tricky. That's going to return a Boolean. Render is going to return void. This is going to be tricky because because we need to consider fade out time and particles, etc., like that. We're also going to need to stop these once they're moving. This, I think, is going to be a 2-day job, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see how much time I've got for this right now. So still alive is, for now, we're just going to say return true. Or maybe return false for now. Because we haven't actually created, we need an emitter. So we're going to say emitter. So type emitter, like that. And we need a way to start it at some point in time as well. So now we've got our highlighter emitter, highlight emitter pages. And we need a name up here as well. Like that. So now what I want to do is I want to go to let's build one of these here. I want to go to our constructor. Okay. Where's my constructor? I think I was actually right there. Oops, that's Dragon Game. There's my constructor. And I want to come in here and I want to say this dot highlighter emitter pages of scroll page dot main dot emitters dot push, and then we're going to say we're going to create a new emitter, a new, what did I call it? Highlight emitter. New highlight emitter. and it's going to have a name. And so the name is, let's go to here. The name of that is going to match the, hold on, character enums, emphasis main, strength is going to be simply just strength right there. That's the name. So what I think I'm going to do is, I think I can do this dot string and toStr like that. So that's going to give me the name parameter of it. The center, let's create a new vector. And the vector coordinates of that center will be, let's just kind of zoom in here and get close to it, right about there. Since we're dealing with particles, not a big deal. 44,202. Okay, 44,202. Like that. So there's our vector. And then the highlight emitter type is going to be rectangular. And that's my emitter. I think I might do one more thing on it, and I want to do something like set rectangle. Or set rectangular. Rectangular. Oh, I think I like this better. Let's kill this. And instead call set rectangular on it. We're going to use that same trick we used before, where we're going to declare this as a function. Why is that not declaring as a function? Oh, because maybe don't have the right number of parameters. That's all right, we'll fix it. Like this. Jump back out. So happy now. Now we've got set rectangular we can do, but now we want to pass in the numbers for that. And so let's look at that. The width of this is, it is 53 by 82. I'm seeing that down in the bottom right, which is blocked by me. I'm just realizing here. But it looks like that's 51 by 81. Yeah, but I think I want to get actually smaller than this is what I want, because I want the particles to start inside here. So I'm going to draw something like this instead. And that's where I'm going to come from. Maybe even a little bit less than that, like this. That feels better to me. And here we are at 37 and 69. So 37, 69, let's use those. Like that. So they're set rectangular. Let's declare it. Whoops. Control dot, declare, drill in. And now we're going to say, we're going to set width and height from that. And also the type. Come in here, let's just say this dot type is equal, whoops, equals to HET, highlight emitter type dot radial. And let's say this dot radius is equal to, I don't know, let's say 3. Fine. Those we'll probably never use, but I wanted to at least get out of here with, now let's come in here, set rectangular, and we're going to say width and height. That, and then we're going to say this dot width is, whoops, where did I go? It's equal to width, and come down in here and change it to height, like that. Okay, and then we want to say this dot type equals HET dot rectangular. Okay, cool. And we're going to return an instance of ourselves, which is the highlight emitter. Okay, we're going to say return this. So we can just kind of chain these property setting calls if we need to. Okay, set rectangular. Okay, and so there is our creation of that new piece. We've given it that name. Okay. Okay. Now the question is, how do we use that? And what we need to do is we need to find it, I think, is what we need to do. We need kind of a find call in here. Let's go look at when we start to add emphasis. Here's where we do it, right here. I want another call that says, I want something that says this dot add particle emphasis. And I want to pass in we got cool beans, says Wither Brian. Cool beans. Okay. Add particle emphasis, and I want to pass in the item ID is a string. So that's what I want, the item ID. I need to tell it what page we're on, but we kind of know it from here, right there. I think I can do it just flat out here. I don't need to do it inside any of these other pieces. So that's going to be our item ID. And we're just going to use page ID to get what we need from the from that element highlight group that we created before, the particle highlight collection or something. I forget what I called that. We'll look at that in a second. So let's declare that. Let's go deal with this. This is going to return a void. What is this, by the way? Wither Brian is asking. We are creating an overlay. In fact, I can actually bring this up on the stream. Should be able to do it right now. If let me change my view over to here. And now if I come in and let's see, are we refreshed? Looks like it's not, the changes are not working on the regular stream. I'm not sure why that's the case. Let me refresh one more time. Why is that not working? All right, well, we'll do it here instead. I'll show you here. Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay, so there it is right there. It's not working on the stream, I'm not sure why. But what we're creating is an overlay that's going to happen on a live stream for playing Dungeons and Dragons. And the overlay will allow the Dungeon Master to change to a different player, or for example, a monster if it's their turn. And then also be able to highlight an attribute, for example, the armor class, and they'll see it over here. So that's what we're building, this overlay here that allows this kind of thing to happen while the game is going. The piece that we're doing right now is we're building, by the way, when this opens up, you see this little magic dust kind of floating in there as the scrolls unfurl. The magic dust is dynamically generated from a particle emitter, so it's different every single time. It's not an actual animation, it's I guess a dynamic animation. And what we're going to do, and by the way, Will just typed in test orbit over there, and test orbit brings this up right here, which is also has the ability to overlay what we're streaming out. And so there's a couple different tests we have with the particle emitter. And so what we're going to build here, let's do a test rainbow, which is also one of my favorites here. The test rainbow comes up like this, and so it's got this color changing element to it. So the particle emitter is this super versatile particle emitter that we built. We built it in like only a couple episodes. And you can actually look at our past history to see those episodes where we built it. I think we built it in maybe 5 total episodes, maybe about 5 hours worth of coding, 5 to 10, somewhere in that range, depending on how long it took. And all that coding was done live when we built this. So as you can see, the particle emitter is super versatile in terms of what it can do. You can also, if we go test wind, I think I've got a test wind in here. So the emitter can have gravity, the particles can have gravity in a different place, all of those things that are out there, and they can all be controlled from the chat room. Hugo's asking, can I request that there be a test, the more you know, to be the rainbow going left to right with the leading star? Okay, so I was thinking the same thing there, Hugo, but I never said it on the show because I think that's strictly a US-based cultural element that I think is not, I don't think that's widely known. But yeah, I played with that idea as well. If you're from the United States, that was something you saw as a kid growing up, this kind of rainbow coming out there with a star in front of it. But yeah, we could do it. Oh, Southern Canada as well. Okay, cool. So yeah, there's the rainbow coming up again one more time. And so that's it. That's kind of cool. So we can put these over the stream as well as, oh, you know what I can do? Let's get it on the stream. I think I need to refresh my overlay bot, which I can do from my streaming channel, from my streaming software. Just come here, refresh cache of current page. I bet that fixes it. Let's see if that's the case. I'm going to click OK there, and I'm going to type in test orbit, like that. Nothing. I don't know why that's not working. I think now I'm at a stage. Now I'm at a stage where I think I have to reset. I wonder if it was the edit and continue that did it. No, because we saw it working afterwards. No, it's working on another page, but not happening on the stream. Interesting. Yeah, it's cool stuff, but yeah, not working. But it is working over here. So this stuff is all working here. Whatever the last. What's happening now, though? Oh, interesting. Look at that. Okay. I think it's just like a bunch of stuff happening at once. Definitely there's a performance issue. There we go. It just kicked in and started working. There's a performance issue. I have seen performance issues when we have thousands and thousands of particles on screen. So that's one of the issues. Okay, hold on one second. Got to respond to a text. Yep. All right. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, so there are those pieces there. I think I can get it to work in the stream. Let's go ahead and just double check this. If we reset, everything's going to be okay. Let's close this down, close all that down, and let's kill all instances of Chrome, come back, start them up again, and see if it starts working live over the stream. So you can get a sense of exactly what this is going to look like. So we're going to create a live Dungeons and Dragons game, and what we're building is something that's going to help viewers see what the elements of the game. So I'm going to take this out of the way right here, and we've got already. You can see kind of what's happening here. There is my WPF controller. So the Dungeon Master will have this. Nope. It's not actually drawing them on the screen right there, which is odd. I'm not sure why that is. What's happening over here? Are we also similarly not drawing over here? Okay, well, at least it's not working in both. Oh, I've got some problems in the code. Okay. Because I broke the code, that's why it's not working. Okay, so let's look at the those code issues and see if we can fix them. So I've got character stat strolls dot emitter. Let's see what's going on there. That's character stat strolls in 112.
What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so emitters, do I not have that in there? I do. That's public by default. What is it because this doesn't exist yet? Emitter pages, oh, because I never added the pages. So then I want to add 4 pages to that. So I want to say emitter pages dot add. dot push. And we're going to say a new highlight emitter page, like that. And we want to do that 3 times. Like that. So now we should have the 3 pages we need. Let's just double check this. Scroll page main. Oh, that's equal to 1. So our indexing is going to be off. Let's create 4 of those. We'll just have 1 that we don't use, like that. So 0, 0, 1, 2. That gives me 3. That gives me 4, right, like that. What other ones are there that's so cool that you can do that? Well, we're going to actually create our own new one now. It'll be kind of based on the magical particle ones, but you can create. You have full control. If you look at the all of these here, let me show you the source code for this so that you can see what's going on here. So blue ball is here. We're basically just setting properties on all of these, right? For example, let's see if we can get. Let's fix the errors in the code, and I'll answer your question in terms of what we can do soon with that. So there's that one. Active game player stat scroll, players page changed. I wonder if that other problem is just leading to all these other ones. Let's refresh here and see if that is fixed. And that was the fix. Okay, good. So that also means then that if I refresh in the stream here, let's go look at that. Properties. Let's refresh the cache of the current page and click down here. If that's the case, then if I get rid of all of this stuff here and I just click here, there we go. So that's what's going to happen. So to my left, you see some shapes that going to represent the players. So those will be the players. We're going to see those players right in that space. And then behind them, what's going to happen is the scroll is going to come in and then unravel behind them when it's their turn. So when it's Kayla's turn, it'll look like this. And when it's my turn, it'll look like that. And you can see that I'm popping to the front of everybody. So we'll kind of be shoulder to shoulder overlapping. But whoever's turn it is will be on top of all the other players, just like that. And then Kent is like this. So that's kind of what's going to happen. So we've built this so far. And then when we want to highlight something, like for example, you've got to make a dexterity saving throw, we're going to do that. I'm not seeing dexterity being highlighted up here. We lose our highlighting? Let's see what's going on with that. Are we losing our highlighting? We've lost it. But they're not. Add particle emphasis. Okay, that's our problem. So we've got line 516, add particle emphasis of character stat stroll. Right here, go to 516. That's our problem. So this is where I want to add it up. This is where I want to add that item here is what I want to do. So I think I want to do this. I want to say, okay, so we need to know what page we're on. So I think it looks like this. The code's going to look like this. It's going to be this.page. I think it's just page is what it is. And that's going to be our indexer. And then we're going to come in here and say dot find of item ID. Like that. And that's going to give us, let's implement that, and then we'll get the type of that right there. So this looks like an interesting bug, Witherbrine, is just it looks like that's not working. It should have worked, but it looks like there's another bug here, maybe with new folks that are just coming in. Let's try one thing here on this. I think I've got a command to help level you up. Let's see if I can level you up to a level 1. And let's see. So it seems like it worked, but it also looks like it gave me an error as well. See if that EX works for you now, Witherbrine, and see if that is that changes the view. try that out. And
Excellent!
okay, that worked. Right, we still have, let me clear the overlay here so we're not looking at so much blocking the code. So yeah, we've got a bug in here with regard to new viewers. I think we got to look at that. And what did I do here? Oh, find, okay. So we're gonna have a find here. And this is gonna be our item ID. And we wanna get our emitters. And let's see if I can get this. I think I'm going to need your help on this, Will, but it's going to be like emitters.return. And what is, oh, it's this dot emitters. And what do I got in there? Is it going to be a filter? Is there a first option? What do we got? Just say when and what. It says Witherbrine. I'm not sure what you're talking about right there. But the help I'm thinking about, so I was talking about Will out there because Will often helps me with this. I think I'm looking for, the one I'm seeing here is, wait, is that mine or not? No, there's find. That's what I want. So I'm going to say find, like that. And now I need the predicate inside of here, which is, I think, something to the effect of s gets such that s dot name equals item ID. And is that all I need? Witherbrine says, if you need help, I got a few minutes. Well, my question is on the syntax there, and I think that might be it. I think I might have that there. So find is going to then return a highlight emitter. This guy right here. So that's what find is going to return. And I think that we got a shot at that actually working. And let's go back. There's my find right there. This is going to return a highlight emitter. And we're going to call this emitter. I think I have this problem in it. All right, let's go check the find. But I think I fixed it. I think we're good, right? That's good. Right there. Okay. I'm going to come back to that if we need to. Let. Okay. And now we're going to say if emitter, then emitter dot start is what I'm going to call on it. The other thing I need is in my, I need, let me drop a marker. We'll come back here in a second. I need in render in here, I think. Draw highlighting is where I need it. We're going to draw the emphasis layer, de-emphasis layer first. That puts the shadow down. Then I'm going to say this dot render. Thought I had that. Wait. No, I don't. I have to iterate through each one. What is it, emitter highlight pages? Not getting IntelliSense to come up. It's not liking this. Hold on one second. Highlight emitter pages is what I'm looking for. So and I think that's what I want. Okay. And that render needs a context, so we're going to pass in world.ctx like this. Okay. So that's going to get my render. Let's go back to that start. And let's go. I think I can do this too, like that. And now let's go create this. Can I create it? Looks like it's there maybe. Because I've got the syntax wrong on that. Let's do it now. Maybe I did have the syntax wrong on this. Maybe I'm thinking this is available. There we go. There's my declare method. I thought that meant that if it's not null, it'll call the next piece. But it is not. That's not, it doesn't like that. So I guess I got to come back here and say, it's C#, says Will Bennett. All right. So there we go. We're going to do that instead. So if emitter, then that. All right. Inside emitter.start, we are going to say, we got to create the emitter now. So that's going to return a void, I think. And we're going to say if not, the emitter has not been built, then we are going to create the emitter. Oh, Will Bennett's, Witherbrand's asking, what do you mean by C#? He's telling me that the thing I was trying for, the question mark, was, I was thinking it was also available in TypeScript, but it's only in C#. So that's what he was telling me. Let's see, if not this emitter, then we want to create it. And I'm going to say this dot create emitter. No, I'm not. I'm going to say instead highlight emitter dot create base emitter. So it's going to, because all of these are going to have the same particle sizes, the same particles per second. Everything's going to have the same aspects with the exception of a few things. And we're going to say create base emitter. So we're going to say this is equal to that. And then we're going to come down and we're going to say this emitter dot, well, we want to check to see the type. So we're going to say if this dot type equals radial, then we're going to say again, and this emitter dot radius equals this dot radius. Else we're going to say this dot emitter dot set rect shape, and we're going to pass in this dot width and this dot height. Like that.
Yo, Mark!
This last one actually is not a bug. This is something that just keeps, although it does say you'll have to wait another 0 minutes until I can say that again. I think it's just rounding down to 0. So yeah, actually I would say that's a definitely display bug. I think you're really close to being able to do it again. I think that, like, try it right now. Yeah, no, you're right. Try bang EX now and see if it works. Yeah, there's kind of a delay to keep like these from going very fast back to back.
Excellent!
There you go. Okay, so that's it. Okay. So set rect shape is there. Then I think there's also something about start like that. We don't have any stops, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Create base emitter. Let's create this piece right here. And so here's our base emitter. That's going to return an actual emitter. Like that. And I think we need, we're going to need some kind of stop thing in here as well. But I'm not exactly sure about stopping yet. I need to figure that part out. So let's start with let's go to our Dragon game and start with one of the ones that we've used to do, we were testing in here. Was it the edge test? There it is, build test gold particle. Let's start with that. In fact, let's actually, we don't have anything that brings this up. So let's actually build something that brings it up. Let's build a command, a temporary command on here. And we'll call it gold, like this. And then we're going to come up here and call build test gold particle, like that. Let's save it. Let's refresh over here so we can at least see that gold particle right there. We're slowly getting rid of those problems that we introduced. So now I'm going to type in test gold. So we'll see what it looks like. It looks like Witherbrine's leaving. We'll see ya. All right, so cool. But that moves and we don't want it to move. So what we're going to do is we're going to, let's just refine it here. Let's refine our test gold here until it looks close to what we want visually, and then we'll set it up. So we want no gravity on the emitter. So I think I can just delete that line right there and refresh. Thank you. Witherbrine says good luck. Thank you, Witherbrine. Appreciate it. Glad to have you here. Okay, test gold. Good, we're not moving now. So that's not bad. We want it to kind of emit all around, so let's do that as well. So we want to go, there we go, nice, live over the stream, shooting through there. So it looks like we fixed those other bugs as well. So nice way to say goodbye with a run. Okay, so we have got an air density and a particle wind. I don't think I want a particle wind at all. So I'm going to take that off. The air density for the emitter doesn't really matter because it's not moving. The air density for the particles does matter because that determines how much they slow down based on their initial velocity, I believe. So we might set it to a vacuum. I think I'm going to set it to a vacuum. Then I want to, the particle initial velocity. Let's set that to 2. That's in meters per second. Relative variance is 1/2, so that should go from 1 to 3 is what the range should be on the initial particle velocity. And the particle lifespan is 1.4 seconds. Let's refresh and see what that looks like with that change. We're glad you followed too, Witherbrine. Looking forward to see you again in the future. All right, and so now we're going to do test gold when this comes in. Okay, not bad. Okay, we have just a few coming out the sides because the height of the rectangle is, I think, probably 1. So let's fix that. Let's see, we don't need scroll length anymore. We're going to create some variables here called width. Set that equal to, let's use the numbers we were using before, which I don't remember anymore. Let's see what we get here. Just going to copy that and paste it in instead of reselecting it. And it's 37 by 69. That's what it was. Okay, so we're going to say our width is 37 and our height is 69, like that. And now I'm going to come in here. Here's our emitter. This is where it's going to be. I want to put this in the center of the page or move it over a little bit more so we can test it. Let's put about 800 right there. Set the rect shape. This is going to be width and height. Height like that. So now we're going to have a rectangle particle that's very close to what we want. And let's refresh. Take a look at it. No worries, Witherbrine. Had to do that one more time. Yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. And I think I can close this. And here comes the test gold. Okay, so not bad, but it's, whoa, it's big, right? We want to kind of change this thing down a little bit here. So I want to do a couple things on this. Let's do our particle size, particle radius right here. Let's say our target is 1.5. And we'll just reduce the variance here. So it's very close to 1.5. Let's do the initial velocity. Let's make it a fraction of this. Let's make it a 4. So it's going much slower. Let's also drop the lifespan down a little bit. Let's refresh it. Try that. Waiting for the refresh to finish. There it is. Much better. Much better. So that's the kind of look I'm talking about right there that I want. Let's take a look at what this looks like over a dark background by putting it right here on top of the running stream. If I switch over here and back over there, Will Bennett says the same thing. It's like it's the same mind here. Let's try that and see what happens. That's not bad. I think this is going to look really good. Now, the only thing we might want to do is we might want to change the opacity down on this a little bit. I think I've got something called, what do I have? Opacity. Particle max opacity as well. Let's set that equal to 0.5 and see what it looks like. Okay. Let's refresh. Come back over here. And yeah, it's not bad. Let's change our velocity
Going off rails.
a little bit. Yeah, let's change our, let's drop our velocity down to half of that. So we're going out a little slower. And let's create our particle lifespan a little longer. Let's make it like 1.7. And let's play with that a little bit. Let's refresh. And here comes the gold there. So not bad, but we've got too many particles, I'm arguing. Let's change particles per second to like 300. Let's cut it in half and refresh again. There. So I think that's it. That's what we want that to look like. So this code here, with the exception of specifically, well, whatever. We're going to copy this code and we're going to use most of this code. Like that. That's what we want. So we're going to put that inside of our create base emitter piece right here. So we're going to say, I'm going to variable of type emitter. That, and we want to say, let's do, let's kill these lines, these empty lines, this empty line, this line. So funny, my stream was stuck in a loop of you saying refresh again over and over. Nice, not intentional. Okay, so these are the pieces we need. The set rect shape is not going to be an issue there. And I think that's it. Oh, our location needs to be specified. So we're going to say, let's pass in our vector here. So we're going to say, call it center. And that's going to be type vector. Okay, and then we're going to pass in that as well. Hold on a second. I think I have something in the clipboard I want to remember, so I'm just going to paste that and comment it out for a second. And this emitter is going to go in there, like that. So there's our create base emitter call. We're using it right up here. And we're going to pass in here, we're going to pass in this dot center, like that. Yeah, okay, and I already have the set rect shape pieces right there. So I already have those pieces that we need. The center is there. The rect and shape are happening from here, the width and the height. So I'm feeling like it's pretty good. I'm feeling like we're close to being able to work on this thing and make this work. Got a return emitter here. And I feel like, because also though, I should say that because this whole thing was pretty complex, I think there's also a pretty good shot that something's not going to work and we're going to be like, wait, what? Well, I don't have anything in the render call yet, so I need to get that built. So we want to do something like this. In render, we want to say if this emitter, then in this emitter dot, do I have a render here? And it needs a now, a time scale, and a world. Okay, let's see what we got on the outside world over here. We're not calling render anywhere, or are we? I think we're calling this. Okay, we got to find this one as well. Okay, the reason I couldn't find it is because it didn't know it was emitter type here. I didn't specify it, so let's make that there. Okay. Now tap to next reference should work. Okay. What's wrong here? Did I get this wrong? Oh, it's a highlight emitter. My bad. Right there. There we go. Now tap to next reference should work. There we go. That's what I want, where I wanted to be. Okay, so there's that. Here's this one. And so here I can pass those three pieces here. I can pass in now, timescale, and world, like that. And let's copy these to the clipboard. That. And now let's go over here, passing in now to timescale.world, and then finally here, now timescale world for the emitter. So if the emitter exists, so now if I'm kind of reviewing mentally because I'm not sure where everything is in the code on this, but when we, let's see if I can actually find it so we can kind of review this. It's not going to hurt to go find this, highlight emitter pages. So we create a set of highlight emitter pages. We create 4 of them. One of those we're not using, but because I wanted to do indexing and have the code easy to read, that's why we're creating 4 of them, because main is offset by 1, because my de-emphasis layer is at 0. So that's kind of, I'm working with the structure already of the architecture that's in place. So we create all of those. We are also pushing a single emitter that we're creating for that emphasis strength on the main page. So we're using an index of scrollpage.main. So you're calling find while in a for each loop. I think this is going to be an emitter in the find. Hold on, let's go look at that. You're calling find in a for each loop. Let's go find that. I'm not getting the find here. Hold on, why am I not getting the find here? Oops. Yeah, I don't think I'm calling it from here. Is there another find that I'm missing here maybe? Will? It's not in the for each. Okay, great. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm trying to find it. I'm expecting to find it. And I think at the very least here, let's do a console log and we'll pass out that emitter start call to verify that we found it. Let's go find some of the other places that we're working with this, and we'll kind of put a few console logs in here as well. I guess we could do a console log here, although I'm totally, creating the new highlight emitter. Okay, see where else this is out there. That's in the draw highlighting. So we've got a for each and we're drawing in the render there. The render has got a for each here. Is this what we're talking about? We don't have a find call from here, so we're good. We're just going through all the highlight emitters that we have and checking to see if we're still alive. And if we are, then we call render on it. And let's double check he's still alive, is going to return false. So we're never going to do anything here. We need a way to say start and stop on this thing, I think. Let's go look at that, where we're doing that. We need to come back because it's never going to draw anything right now. There, emitter.start. Add particle emphasis is here. I think we need a similar remove particle emphasis in unfocused item. Let's keep this for here for now. So add particle emphasis, we need to turn this thing on, have it give it a sense that it's actually running. So we're calling it this emitter.start. And that means that still alive is going to be, we're going to say, well, actually, the render kind of does the trick. We don't actually need this call here, but we might need it elsewhere. Let's add it when we need it, because I think that's tricky anyway. Let's refresh and see if it works. So here's our refresh. Here's our app to control it, waiting for the refresh to finish. Looks like we're locked up here in our refresh. Do I have a bug? Or is it just slow? That's not good. Do I have an infinite loop? I feel like I've got a call stack problem where I'm recursively calling the same function because of the way this is just not moving here. Are we creating the new highlight emitter we got there? It just took an incredibly long time. Looks like Brian Clark is raiding with a party of 24. Brian, thank you for the raid. Welcome to everyone who's out there. You're just in time to catch us testing this. We are creating. In fact, let me do it live over the stream so you can see it, because I think it's the demo is more fun over the stream. Let me do this. Let me come in. I'll put this up here for now, but I'm going to take the stream overlay, and we are going to we're going to bring in here and reload the overlay here and see what we can get here. Let's do a test rainbow from the chat room. Okay, cool. It's working. So here comes a test rainbow right here as well. There you can see it right there coming over the live stream. That's from our particle generator that we've been building. It's incredibly versatile. We can do all kinds of particle effects with it on the live stream. And I'll show you, Brian says, got to run, but hope you have the great rest of your stream. See you around, Brian. Thanks for the raid, buddy. I really appreciate it. So let's look at our WPF app. Our WPF app is for controlling a Dungeons and Dragons game. And when I change the player, it's going to change the view here so that, for example, Karen is the player, and now Karen, this avatar to my left is going to be replaced with the live player up on top of the other live players to the side there. In fact, we could arguably modify this right now live while we're doing this. And why don't we do that here? Let's go with, let's take me on this one and make me go away. And then let's take me for real and move me right over there, like that, but bring me down right between the two. So this is what will happen when it's Karen's turn. Let's do the same thing for Kent's turn. Do the same thing. We're going to hide my avatar, take my actual webcam and put me here, and then put me down layer-wise back behind the other players right there. I should also, I guess, make me bigger like this for this so that so it actually looks like it'll kind of look. So it'll be more like this right here. And then let's do, back at Karen's turn, let's do the same thing. So I'm up here like this. Yeah, this is going to be kind of fun, I think. And then we can do the same thing for Kayla's turn. We're going to turn me off right there. Take me, make me bigger. Whoops, that's not what I want to do. That was the overlay for the character stats. And bring me over here like this. That, and then take my Z order and move me down like that. And then there's one more, which is this one, where my Z order is already good. And we'll move this over here like this. And so, so what'll happen is when the Dungeon Master says it's okay, it's Kayla's turn, she'll come in front like that. Or when it's Karen's turn, she'll be in front, like right over there to the side. And her stats are going to show up right up there. They're going to slam down. So that's what we're doing right now. Or it's Kent's turn, it'll be like that. So it's kind of cool what the look is what it's going to look like. I just noticed I've got a little bit. I'm just moving a little bit as we switch from page to page a little bit. They're not quite perfectly lined up, but we can fix that later. Not too big of a deal. The thing we're working on is highlighting right now. So if I click, for example, on initiative, I want to be able to highlight that so that the viewers can see we're talking about initiative. Or maybe I want to say, well, okay, you need to make a strength saving throw. And so everybody can see, oh, they've got a -1 on their modifier for the strength saving throw, that sort of thing. So we want to be able to do that. We want to be able to highlight these different pieces. What we're building right now is the ability to put in a particle generator. And that's what we're trying to do. Now, I was hoping it was going to work for this piece right here, but I'm not actually seeing it. So we got to take a look and find out why that is the case, why that's not working there. Also, what's happening over here? I'm trying to figure out why we're not seeing these. Let me switch over to this view. Why we're not seeing these here. This one took a long time to come up and refresh. Yeah, I'm feeling something is wrong. Something's really wrong. I'm sure I've got, yeah, we can't even do the profile. Let's review the code. So while it's trying to get that data there, we'll see what we can, see if we can find anything here that explains what might be going on. This tab is what I want to hit. Oh, hold on 1 second. I have to get a phone call. Should be able to. I'm still live streaming right now, so no worries, but it looked like it was important. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Is that where you are now? After 2? All right. Bye. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It does, this one is loading up and working, but it's taking a long, long time to get here. And I'm not sure if there's any kind of data inside of here that we're going to be able to get, but my suspicion is that was the case. Scripting, update. Got a lot of update for the particles. I'm not understanding this. Let's see what's going on here. We're not calling start. Shouldn't be any performance related hit on this because we never even see the start right there for it. Let's see what the console comes up with here. Let's go to here. And now if I click on string, so I was expecting to see a start call inside of here. The find looks like it's failing. Let's pass in item ID, see what that is. I'm expecting to see strength come in here like that. Let's refresh. Hopefully we're not going to be burdened with that really long refresh time. What is happening now? Okay, well, let's reload it. So it's not the same that we saw before. Let's click over there. Let's click on strength now. Go over to console. Add particle emphasis, strength. Okay, so that's where we should be. There's no particles that are being drawn there. Let's see what's going on here. Well, we're not getting add particle strength. Yeah, find is not working. So if we're not finding strength, is it because strength is lowercase? I think that's the problem. I think it's a lowercase uppercase issue because when I add the new page here, I'm calling, oh no, it's uppercase. What is the string? Let's see what this string is. Well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just bring it in the console and put it in here. Oh. Okay. It's 6. That's why it's not finding it. Okay, so let's fix that for now with this, and I'll figure out what I need to do. Yeah, okay, you can laugh. Laugh it up, Will. Let's try that, and we'll see if we get in closer with this. Okay, refresh. Give me a short refresh. Don't make me wait. There we go. There it is right there. Let's click on strength. Let's move this out of the way so we can see. Click on strength. Okay. We did get emitter start call this time. I'm not seeing the emitter draw itself, but we've definitely got the emitter start call. So what's going on with that? Why isn't the emitter drawing itself? So we don't need that anymore. I need, one of the problems is this dot page. So I need that dot emitters dot for each highlight emitter. Auth0 Bobby is now following highlight emitter. That. Highlight emitter's got a render in it itself as well. I don't think this is the fix, but let's go into here. Let's do a console log right here. This is going to be a mess. There's going to be a whole bunch of these, but let's see what's happening. Let's see if in fact we're rendering. I feel like we've got all of the right, we're calling create base emitter, passing in the center point. There's our new emitter call right there with the center. We're setting all these values that we already tested to create this piece. And we're starting it. We're calling start right here as well. Let's just do a console log here, and let's see what we got with that. Let's do a refresh. And here we go. And strength. What do we get over here? We're getting lots of emitters. We got to start. Why aren't we seeing the particles? Is the question. The center point is correct. Where's the rendering happening? So that's good. We got that piece, this emitter start, so that's good. The rendering's totally happening. So this dot emitter dot render. Code is blocked. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's look at this. So render is called here. We're calling it. This render I'm not finding. Well, I'm calling it. Let's put it on top and see if that makes any difference at all. Let's just see if that is, let's try that. If it does, that's awesome. It's an easy fix to solve. And if it doesn't, then I'm not sure what we got. We may have to save this bug for tomorrow. So there's the refresh. And let's click on that. Yeah. I see no particles drawn anywhere. So it's like as if we're not calling start on it, but I think we did. Yeah, emitter.start.
Sad panda!
Yeah, I would agree. It's a sad, sad panda is what we got there. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't get it. Let's try one more thing. Empty cache and hard reload. See, sometimes there have been problems with that. One more try. Click. Nope, nothing, no emitter. Why? What am I missing on the emitter? Let's see, is there anything here? The emitter, when we do this, just do all of these pieces. We've essentially got the exact same code right here. And then we're just calling, I don't even think we call start on it here. Build test gold particle. Oh, we add it, we're adding it to the world, but shouldn't, do we need to do that? Adding it as a character, that just makes it draw automatically. I think if I specifically call render on it, it should work. You may have insight into this. Let's go look at the super.render, particle.render. I bet we just take the context from the world. Yeah, and we just use this. We're just going to just do some straight out drawing of a circle right there. So that's all good. Yeah, I don't think we need to add it to the world. Should be able to draw right normally on it. Yeah, shouldn't need to, says Will. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to take a break from the code and think about this, because this I'm not quite getting in terms of where what the problem is, why it's not rendering, drawing itself where it is. We can maybe ask some questions. I think maybe pre-render needs to be called. Really? Is that it? That might be it. Or update. Update. Pre-update. The world is doing this for us when we add it to the world. So you think I need to call pre-update? And only pre-update? Let's go look at pre-update. Yeah, I think I need to hook in both the update and pre-update, these two places here, with regards to our highlight emitter pages. That's what I think I need to do. So I think it looks like this, pre-update here. Emitters for each. Then we want to call pre-update. I think that's what's happening here. And then we want to do the same thing down here and call just regular update. Okay, let's declare it. Let's declare pre-update. I got a better feeling of this. At least this could explain why we're not seeing it, because we're not calling these. Wait, what did I do wrong? What did I just, something happened where I just went. That should be update. This should be pre-update right here. Did I just delete? I think I just deleted an extra one of those. I do the same thing here. I do the same thing here. Is that it? That's the fix? Okay. So I've got pre-update, update, and render. Let's see if that fixes it. What's so interesting, look at the, I didn't notice the stream till now. I'm like right between these guys. Slightly comical. Okay, let's refresh here. Let's change our view over here. Code is blocked. Apologies for that as well. Okay, there's that. Let's do this. Now click on stir. Okay, it's on top. Perfect. Now let's go back, and this is good. Good, good, good. Thanks, Will, for helping with that.
Awesome!
It is awesome. Let's go to, let's go to where we draw these, and there's the render. We want to put this up here, so it's after the de-emphasis layer, but before the actual emphasis pieces. All right, and so now if we come in here, now we'll be able to see how it's really intended to look. Okay, not bad. Okay, change the page, highlight strength. It's not bad. It is maybe a little too subtle. I want to change that a bit, but that's not hard to do now. Now we're making in the place where we can make some easy changes here. So I want to change the max opacity. I want to bump it up to 8, like that. What else do I want to change about that? Let's look at that closely here. Zoom in. Okay. I think I want to increase the lifespan just a bit. Just a nudge here. Lifespan, let's bump it up to 1.9. And anything else I want to do here? It's blocked? Oh, geez. I'm sorry, guys. I forgot that the other thing is happening. Let's do this. I'm going to disable the overlay on, or actually maybe I won't do this. By the way, you can unblock it fast by just executing any command. Well, actually you can't, because you can't switch to this view. So I'll just stay on this view for a little bit here. Although the problem is, here's the problem. When I change pages, it switches to the other view and blocks. So that's the thing I've got to remember. Maybe comment that out for now. But let's see here. Click on strength. And yeah, I think basically contrast. It's not bad. It looks a little heavier up here than down there. Looks like the positioning is off a bit. It needs to drop down just about a couple pixels. And maybe the size of the pixels can drop down a little bit too. Particle radius, let's say the target is 1.2. The variance can stay the same. Let's try that now. Let's do a refresh. Okay, there's the refresh. Let's change the page. Let's change the view. So we've got that, and let's emphasize strength. See what it looks like. I think that's pretty cool. Let's get it actual size. It says, there you go, that's actual size right there. I'm liking it. I'm feeling it's pretty good. I think I want to slow down the motion. I want to change that. So the initial velocity, let's make it 1.5. Okay, 0.15 like that. Let's do another refresh. Yeah, I want the smallest, most subtle effect here is what I'm looking for. Okay, let's change the page, change the view so that we've got that. And maybe I'll change to this view, and we'll click here. I want it slower. Initial velocity, target. Let's slow it down to 1.1, maybe even 0.08, like that. The lifespan, let's do, I think I also want to change that center point because I don't think it is, I don't think it's in the right spot. So let's make this 204, like that, just drop it down a bit. That's our new center point. Let's refresh again. Okay, change the page, switch back over to here, and let's now highlight strength. So the slower speed coupled with it's not lasting long enough, the lifespan, so we're just seeing a little bit across the top here, so we need to increase the lifespan. Let's change this to 1. Let's take our lifespan and take it to 2.4. Refresh. Okay, there's the refresh. Here's the page change. Let's get it so you guys can see it. Here is the, oops, hold on. So it's not blocked. There we go. Here's the strength highlight. Yeah, I think that might be it. I'm going to call that it for now. Let's take a look at it on the stream as well, so we can see that on the stream. Should be able to just change a page here like that, and then let's go highlight strength. That's what it looks like on the stream. So that's what it'll look like on the live show. So so kind of cool. So we've managed to highlight with motion. Normally I would recommend not doing that at all. Because it's hard to do. It's hard to get it so it's subtle, not distracting, right? Because the more important information is the 12 and the 1 in there. And it could be too that we are like, well, you know what, maybe we're going to tweak this a little bit. We might drop opacity a little bit. We might do something along those lines. But it's a cool repurposing of the particle system that we've created before. So I think with that, I'm going to end the show. Let's bring up one more rainbow here across the stream. There it is right there. Oh, look, I can almost catch it. It's behind me though. Anyway, that's it. That is I think we're going to call that a show. So today we did we got the highlighting working. We'd only have right now, by the way, that particle behind strength. We haven't built it for the other pieces. We need the coordinates and all that to bring all these pieces up here to make these work. In fact, we also don't have as you can see right there, we don't have the killing of the particle system. We're going to have to fix that tomorrow. So when we're no longer highlighting, the particles go away. But it's kind of cool what we're going with there. I do like that they go away when we completely don't highlight anything. But I think the minute I highlight something, they're going to come back. Yeah, they're there, right there, coming back. John By caught the end of it, but still want to see the D&D stream. Yeah, well, we are in the process of getting a dungeon master for that. I've been talking to Richard Campbell about that process. He is trying to get the time and thinks he might get it in March. The thing is we've got 4 players who have a great chemistry and are really funny. If you ever listen to the old Mondays podcast episodes that I do with Carl Franklin, Richard Campbell, and Karen Mangicotti, we were all over. We were pretty funny, and we did that a lot. And if you enjoyed that, the current setup, the current chemistry of folks is very funny, and even without actually playing the game. So we're actually toying with the idea of streaming live our essentially discussions, just us essentially talking to each other about the game, about what we're going to do, because they're incredibly funny. There's just incredibly these funny moments because everybody there has got some sort of comedic timing, good chemistry. Everybody's pretty clever. So we might start the show soon. That show, if you want to follow it right now, is on Twitch. I'll put the URL in here. It's out at twitch.tv/dragonhumpers. It is going to be kind of a little bit irreverent, as you can tell probably by the title. So if you want, give that a follow out there. When we start going live, you'll be able to get notifications of that. Yeah, it should be pretty funny, Dungeons and Dragons. But also, as you can see, what we're doing here, right? We're setting this up so that we're going to have very cool graphics happening while the Dungeon Master is running the game, right? And that's kind of what we're building in this show, in this stream. And so we're setting that up here. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks so much to John Pye, Hugo, Will Bennett, PMON3S Pomones, I think, who came in and mentioned the Clarkia Ride. Everybody out there who's just lurking as well. Thanks to Brian for rating us. And we'll see you tomorrow, as usual, at the same time.